with all the hype, benchmarks dropping, an endless comparison between the 50 series and the generation before it, can we just take a moment to admire the craftsmanship, the raw power, the innovation? This isn't just another GPU. Or is it? No. It's a glimpse into the future of gaming and creativity, and today, I get the chance to build with one. I know I'm in the minorities of YouTube channels that focus more on the aesthetics more than the spec sheets and FPS numbers, but there's a reason why these manufacturers put so much attention to details on the parts, right? Well, let's go over the parts list of this beast of a build. For the motherboard, we went with this sleek black Asus ROG Strix X-A70E gaming Wi-Fi. For the CPU, we got the fastest gaming CPU as of right now, which is the Ryzen 7 9800X3D. For the RAM, we are going with G-Skill Trident Z5 Nero, not just 2, but a 4x16 kit clocked at 6000 megahertz. We kept it humble on the storage and went with a 2TB Samsung 990 Pro. This motherboard actually has this cool feature where you just slide this into the M.2 drive to keep it secured. First time I seen something like this. To cool down this 9800X3D is the 360mm Lian Li Galahad 2 Trinity, which this case has a really unique way of mounting this, so you can hide the tubes so they're not in the way of showing. You can squeeze this AIO into the cutout up top. Then the case has these 2 slots so you can keep the tubes tucked into the case. You will have to take the grommet out to cut out the slots. Now, I'm not sure if all of the Lian Li O11 Vision cases have this, but this case is the Lian Li O11 Vision Compact. You can actually take off the top and have it all glass. I just forgot to take some clips with the glass top. Now, for the power supply, I didn't really care for it at first, but it was actually pretty convenient. We went with a 1000-watt Lian Li Edge series. It has the connections facing the front, which worked out well after cable management. Now, while I was getting this build put together, I did run into one small issue with the case and the graphics card. The case comes with a GPU holder. While it is extremely helpful, but the RTX 5080 is so thick that the GPU holder won't go low enough for this to do its job. So I had to raise it up all the way just to get it out of the way. But enough of the talking, let me get this all wired up and let's check out the final product. Alright, so what are your thoughts on this build? This case does have the option to make the top of the case all glass. I just forgot to take some recordings with the glass installed on it. I wanted to get this build back to the customer as soon as possible. So just a quick update from the last video. If you remember this PC flip I did, a little while after a week of being listed, it sold to someone local to me. And also another update from this build that I cleaned up and upgraded. If you remember, he was bringing this back to me once he gets his hands on a new 50 series graphics card and a power supply upgrade. Yep. You guessed it, I get my hands on another RTX 5080 graphics card. Now let's start taking this power. Speaking of cleaning, I forgot to mention the customer of the first RTX 5080 build also wanted me to clean up his old PC because he's giving it to his brother. So yeah. Since I gotta clean this power supply for another build, when was the last time you cleaned your PC? I'll get back to this build later in the video. So we got a new power supply for this build. It's an Asus ROG Thor 1000-watt 80+ platinum power supply. This is the one with the OLED panel on the side. And I know what you're thinking. Why bother if the case doesn't have a cutout? It was the only thing I could get that was next day shipping. And not only I'm swapping out the power supply, we're also changing out the front 3 fans to these Lian Li TL LCDs with the screens on them. Let's get this 5080 installed and all wired up, and let's check out the final product. I had to get this back to the owner shortly after getting these B-roll shots. So let's get back to this build. After getting it all cleaned up, I know it looked really bad, but it actually wasn't as bad as it looks. To give his brother a fresh start, we put in a new 1TB M.2 drive and did a fresh install of Windows. PC cleaned up real nice, and this is actually a really cool case with it being all glass. It's an older Corsair case, not sure the model. I'm sure someone will comment down with the model. After getting these builds sent off, all these old parts from this build, he sold all the parts to his friend, so I got it all cleaned up. It had some yellow stains on them. His friend also bought a Lee case with the RGB around the case, and also a Lee 360mm AIO to get this build complete. I won't go crazy on the B-rolls for this one, but here are some of the shots of the finished build. It's always nice seeing older hardware get reused. This setup is a i9 9900K with an RTX 3070. Still very much capable of running any game you throw at it. You don't always need the latest and greatest, even though the latest and greatest can be nice. But anyway, a bit off topic, I just recently hit 1,000 subs, which is awesome. I still have a long way to go, but we'll get there. I recently did a poll on what you guys would like to see more of. PC flips, of course, is what this channel is about, so I'll have one for you guys on the next video. I've just been so busy with local builds and local PC repairs. I do have a lot more exciting things coming up in the next few videos. Here's a small spoiler. If you can guess this case, I will show you on the next video. And also shoutouts to all the new subs. And if you made it this far,